All right, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? I hope y'all had a great day. All right, I'm about to go ride my bike real quick, but before I go, I wanted to talk about something that I found very interesting, and I think you guys would find interesting too. It's talking about calorie counting. So I've lost pretty recently. I've lost about 28 pounds. Now I did not calorie count at all. The main thing I did to drop as much weight I did is count how much sugar I'm consuming. And I don't know if this is the first time you guys have heard of something like this, but we've all heard about how, balance what you eat with what you do, and a calorie is a calorie. But this is a false narrative that was propagated by the food industry in order for them to justify putting out food product that is very low quality, extremely low quality, high in sugar, has no fiber. I mean, and the reason they do it is to make the food a commodity so they can ship it and sell it. Because if you think about it, like fruit, produce, even beans and rice, like, yeah, for the most part beans and rice, you can store it a while. But this stuff that they sell in stores, like actual commodities, like I'm talking like Pop Tarts and candy bars and whatnot, I mean, you could keep that on the shelf for God knows how long. And then also when you think about the metabolic effect it has, this food doesn't keep you satiated. And so, and I say food, but it's not food. The candy bars and chips, that, like, that stuff, no. But that's for another topic. That food does not keep you satiated, so you're constantly hungry. So what's going to happen when you're constantly hungry? You're eating more of their products. And this is how they make their money. And what they try to do is they try to put responsibility on people. And so they started pushing the narrative, oh, a calorie is a calorie. So what they're trying to say is if 500 calories worth of Pop Tarts is the exact same as 500 calories worth of beans or rice. And I would say that's almost like a half truth, because in fact our bodies process and metabolize calories in different ways, and anyone who studied biochemistry would know that your body's going to process sugar a lot differently than it's going to process fiber and protein. And if you think I'm lying, go eat a bag of M&Ms and M's and then go eat a can of beans and see which food keeps you fuller, keeps you more satiated for the longer amount of time. I guarantee you the can of beans will. I guarantee you. Go eat 2 cups of beans and you probably won't want to eat for about 4 or 5 hours. So a calorie, when it comes to what it does in your body, a calorie is not just a calorie. And so, I mean, and it goes a lot beyond just losing weight. I mean, I'm talking about the metabolism, man. I'm talking about the effect that it has on what's going inside of you that you can't necessarily see in the mirror. So your gut health, your energy levels. I mean, God, man, you stop eating so much sugar. And something that people say is everything in moderation is okay. What you guys got to understand is like there is nothing that's being done in America with sugar in moderation. Like sugar in moderation in America, that's like an oxymoron. Um, they say that the highest grams of added sugar you should have, I believe, is anywhere from 20 to 30 grams of added sugar a day. Can you guys guess how many grams the average American is having of added sugar? Go ahead and guess. Are you finished guessing? Allow me to tell you. 300 to 400 grams of added sugar the average American is having. And that's crazy, man. And I'm not talking about like fruit, because that's something else people say. What about fruit? Fruit's fine because fruit has fiber. Okay, you're gonna be sick if you try to eat 100 grams worth of sugar and bananas. Do the math on how many bananas that is. You probably make yourself sick. But you can eat and you can drink 100 grams of sugar in of added sugar from like soda and from candy, and you won't get sick. And that's what's so dangerous about it. And one of the problems with added sugar is like, for instance, like high fructose corn syrup. Like it's so cheap, like it's incredibly cheap to produce, and that's one of the reasons you guys see it in everything. And you know the sugar all does the same. Like high fructose corn syrup is going to do the same thing in your body as regular sucralose, regular table sugar. But the problem with high fructose corn syrup is that, like I mentioned, it's so cheap. They have it in barrels, right? They have it in barrels. It's a liquid. So, and they can put it in more things. And the problem with this is that it's made its way into pretty much everything we eat. So like a good way to understand this is go to the bread aisle and set a timer on your phone and see how long it takes you to find a loaf of bread that does not have a single gram of sugar in it. I mean, 0 grams of sugar. Zero. 0 grams of added sugar. See how long it takes you. I went at Kroger's and I was looking for bread with 0 grams added sugar. And I'm not even talking about like the white bread. I'm talking about like whole wheat bread, like whole grain bread, the healthy stuff. Like even the protein bread, like 2, 3 grams of added sugar. I found one brand of bread that had 0 grams of added sugar. So it's, in a way, it's almost diabolical. And I'm not trying to say, oh, there's this huge conspiracy going on. What it is it's them making money, because that's what anything comes to at the end of the day, is making money with these companies. But what you gotta set your line in the sand, and you gotta decide what's more important to you. What's more important to you? Tasty, sweet, delicious food, or your health? And I started the video talking about my weight loss, and I'll go back to that. I was sitting at about 210 pounds, and then I dropped down to, I'm sitting at about 182 now, 182 to 185, but usually about 182 morning weight. And like I said, I don't count calories. And I am highly active, but I was highly active last year, and I still sat at about 210 pounds last year. But you know what I was also doing last year? It's like I was eating a lot of added sugar, man, a lot of added sugar, and then my insulin levels were spiked all throughout the day. I mean, all throughout the day, because and it wasn't even like I was eating candy bars, right? I was just eating things like I might eat like a biscuit here and there, and I might have like some chips here and there. It's like things in moderation, but it doesn't matter because everything has added sugar in it. And so like my blood sugar levels were just up and down all throughout the day, and it's incredibly hard for your metabolism to work efficiently and for your body to get to where it needs to be when you're constantly spiking and dropping your blood sugar levels. Like you need to get it stabilized, you need to get it getting managed. And the best way to do that is, go cold turkey. Is say, I'm just not going to do anything with added sugar in it. And I'd go cold turkey for at least a month. And the good thing about it though is you go cold turkey for a month, right? So you make good and well sure that you're not eating or drinking anything with added sugar. And notice I keep saying added sugar. That's important because fruit is okay, but you're not eating or drinking anything with added sugar. And after that month, once you get your level stabilized and you get in a good routine and you kick those cravings and that taste in your mouth that makes you want that sugar, that makes you crave that sugar. Once you get rid of that after about a month and you get in the habit and get in the mindset of not consuming so much sugar, then you can maybe see about, okay, on Saturday, I can have a little treat. I might have a small Snicker bar on Saturday. Or no, don't eat, no, not the Snickers. No, what am I saying? No, they support genocide. No. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize. That was the first candy bar, Twizzlers, I guess. This is another thing, man, about current events. It's a shame because I almost need to walk around with like a document list of companies that are supporting innocent people being driven from their homes and being persecuted. You almost need a paper. It's sad. Like you go to the store and you're looking at a product and you're like, I have done this. I went to the store and I had to pull out my phone and I had to Google, does this company support? It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And if you're not aware of the situation, please educate yourself on a conflict that's going on in Palestine. Please, please educate yourself. But anyway, like I was saying, that once a month. Not once a month. Let me back up. Once you get to where you went cold turkey on sugar, right, and you haven't done it all, you haven't done any of it for a month. You got in a great habit. You built a very consistent lifestyle. Then you can say, okay, maybe I could throw in 20 or 30 grams of added sugar once a day. I mean, once a week, because honestly, I don't think once a day, that might be what they recommend, but honestly, it's not even like you need added sugar. Like no one needs table sugar to survive, first of all. So there is no amount of added sugar that you can have that's recommended. Like, oh, you should probably have 20 grams of added sugar. You should have 30. No, there is a limit to where they say this is probably a good idea if you stay under this threshold. And I think 20 to 30 grams is what they agree upon a day. But I'd take it lower than that, to be completely frank. And I'd say, just once a week, maybe twice, maybe once you develop some really good habits, Saturday and Sunday. But just starting out, after you go cold turkey for a month, go back on Saturday and say, hey, you're gonna give yourself a little treat on Saturday. But the point is to make sugar, sugar is a dessert, it's fine. But the problem is that's not how people are eating. Like, man, if you guys aren't aware, some people, I say some, the majority of people, I wouldn't be surprised, are consuming about 60 to 70 grams of sugar at breakfast, because you got a bowl of cereal, that's about 20 or 30 grams, and you got a cup of orange juice, that's about 30 grams. So that's 60 grams right there.